Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. Virginia students have experienced significant learning loss in the past 5 years. Petersburg City Council meets with their chosen developer if citizens vote yes on a casino. Another Hopewell department comes forward requesting funding to update their vehicle fleet. And ghosts, goblins, and all manner of ghoulish creatures are celebrating across the Tri-Cities this weekend. Stay tuned for where to go, what to do, and how to stay safe this Halloween. Those stories and more when we return after this.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. Ice cream, candy, footlong hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
Welcome back to the LNN studio. First, let's take a look at state news. Many in Virginia were startled earlier this week when the NAEP, or National Assessment of Educational Progress, test results were released showing major declines in learning among the Commonwealth's 4th and 8th graders. For the first time in 30 years, Virginia's 4th graders fell below the national average in reading, hovering just above that mark in math. Since 2017, 4th graders in Virginia have suffered the largest declines in reading and math in the nation based on the NAEP results. In 2017, 4th grade reading scores were 8% higher than the national average, and 4th grade math scores were 10% higher than that average. While the pandemic-era virtual learning is being blamed by many for these significant shifts, some are pointing out that the lowering of education standards in Virginia coincides with the decline in test scores. Superintendent of Public Instruction Jillian Balow said of that decline, quote, "While the pandemic and long-sustained closures of schools accelerated the regression of student proficiency, deliberate decisions, predating the pandemic, set our students on a downward path of declining achievement. Taken together, the significant pre-pandemic declines we saw on the 2017 NAEP and these latest results have wiped out more than 20 years of progress Virginia students have made on the national reading and math tests since the Commonwealth launched the SOL program in the late 1990s. End quote. In 2017, the Board of Education lowered the standards of accreditation in Virginia schools. In 2019, it lowered math SOL cut scores, and in 2020, it lowered reading SOL cut scores. Governor Glenn Youngkin responded to the disappointing NAEP results, calling them a, quote, loud wake-up call. His administration's commitment to Virginia's children includes action items such as launching tutoring partnerships, raising both the floor and ceiling of educational standards, strengthening Virginia's teacher pipeline, and challenging schools to spend nearly $2 billion in remaining federal K-12 funds on learning recovery. The Supreme Court of Virginia broadened government transparency late last week in 2 decisions, both dealing with issues of public access to government documentation and the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. The Virginia Mercury reported over the weekend that the court ruled that the Newport News Circuit Court could not close a hearing to the public or refuse to release email correspondence related to the case of a Newport News police officer who shot a man while on duty. Both Newport News and the Commonwealth argued against unsealing the documentation, but those arguments did not move the court. Another case against the town of South Hill was overturned by the Virginia Supreme Court. That decision set some limitations on what government documentation related to personnel can be denied to the public, according to the Virginia Mercury. Previously, governments could refuse FOIA requests for such information because the term was so loosely defined. While Justice Thomas Mann stated that the court would not define personnel information, it did provide some guidance in that matter, ruling that personal information should not be released if that, quote, would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy to a reasonable person under the circumstances, end quote. In the South Hill case, one of the documents that the town refused to release citing personnel information was the resignation letters of 3 town staff members. The Mecklenburg Circuit Court upheld the town's refusal to disclose those and other requested documents, but the Supreme Court's decision overturned that prior ruling. While those 2 decisions do not provide a strict definition of what qualifies as personnel information, they do more clearly outline the parameters of what information related to public employees should be protected and what should be made available to the people for whom public employees ultimately work. We'll be back with local news after this.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory does so much best for you when it comes to CBD, hemp-based products, vapor nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Keep your home comfortable and quiet with the new energy-efficient Daikin Fit system. Right now at Colonial Plumbing, Heating and Air, we're offering a $1,000 rebate on any new Daikin Fit HVAC system. Colonial Plumbing, Heating and Air, service that's revolutionary.
The most rewarding part of my day would be seeing the residents putting a smile on their faces, especially if I have family members come up to me and say, "Oh, my loved one, they said they did this with you and they loved it," and that just makes me feel like I'm making a difference in their lives. My name is Chrissy Roth. I'm the Memory Care Activities Coordinator at Dunlop House. We definitely make a difference in the lives of our residents, and I would encourage anyone to come to Dunlop House and see what we're all about. Dunlop House, more than a house, it's home.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at local news. After last week's release of the Joint Legislative Audit and Review Commission's report on the economic feasibility of a Petersburg casino, city leaders swiftly scheduled a special city council meeting to receive a presentation from their chosen casino development company. That meeting was held on Tuesday, October 25th, immediately after a closed session meeting of the council, with all councilors present except for Ward 1's Tresca Wilson-Smith. State Senator Joe Morrissey opened the meeting with a brief outline of the casino approval process, beginning with the General Assembly's March 2019 passing of a bill that allowed for 5 Virginia cities to receive gaming licenses, a list that initially included Richmond but not Petersburg. Morrissey also outlined a bill that he has drafted in preparation for the 2023 General Assembly session in Richmond.
Introduced legislation that has already been filed with the General Assembly. It's Senate Bill 780, and it will do the following. It will add Petersburg as the 5th and final eligible host city for the 5 host cities in the Commonwealth. Number 2, the legislation specifically states that Petersburg must vote in a referendum before Richmond has another opportunity to hold a second referendum. Third, if Petersburg prevails in the referendum, Richmond will be eliminated as a potential host city. And it also finally designates that that referendum will be held in November of 2023, approximately 12 months from now. So that's where we're headed.
Lisa Speller of the Speller Group, Petersburg's economic development consultant, then introduced her recommended partner for a future Petersburg casino. The Cordish Companies, based in Baltimore, is the developer of the Live brand of casino resorts. However, the company's business endeavors expand beyond gaming, delving into commercial real estate, hotels, sport and entertainment center districts, residential, and restaurants. While the public discussion has revolved around a Petersburg casino, both Spelling and Cordish's chief operating officer, Zed Smith, emphasized the broader possibilities of the development, with Smith calling the project transformational for Petersburg. Smith described the potential casino as a, quote, one-in-a-generation opportunity, with the potential for mixed-use development, including residential space and even corporate office space if Petersburg needs it. The arrival of Cordish to Petersburg would, quote, lift the business community here, he explained, stating that if the casino is approved, the company would work with local contractors and businesses to supply the development. But any Petersburg casino must ultimately be greenlit by the citizens of the city in a ballot referendum. As he closed the special meeting, Parham emphasized that the next step in the process for the city was to begin engaging with the public on the issue and focus on keeping the public informed. But he did not have long to wait before he received the first public feedback. After the meeting was officially adjourned, while the microphones were still on, a member of the public in attendance at the meeting took advantage of the moment to take to the podium and call out what she described as, quote, inappropriate action by the city. She voiced discontent with the timing of the called meeting, saying before Mayor Parham called for the mics to be cut, quote, you all are not trying to inform the people of Petersburg by having this meeting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Hopewell's police department recently approached City Council requesting funding to update its vehicle fleet, citing both officer and public safety. Now the city's sheriff's department is doing the same. LNNnews' Chai Gallahan has the story.
At the last Hopewell City Council meeting, Sheriff Travis Stanley requested funding for the leasing of 8 new, fully equipped patrol and 2 new administrative vehicles.
Our fleet is extremely old. We need roughly 20 vehicles. Obviously, I'm not here asking for 20 vehicles. We're going to try to get half. We've got vehicles out there, as Matt said, 150 miles, 1,000 miles on it. It's very dangerous to be driving vehicles from 0 to 100 back to 0 multiple times a day with those kind of mileage on, that kind of mileage on it.
The police department, they need new cars. Right. There's a safety issue. Sheriff Stanley is saying that his cars are over 15 years old. That's a safety issue. We have sheriffs that are on 295 and it is dangerous. People die on 295.
After council asked questions and deliberated about timing, funding, market research, financial propriety, the needs of other city departments, and other details, a motion was made to support the fleet vehicle program. The motion passed unanimously. From Hopewell, this is Chai Gallahan reporting for LNN USA.
Administrators at Richard Bland College could not have asked for a more perfect day to welcome visitors to campus for the school's 6th annual Pecan Festival. The day was clear and warm, inviting attendees from various nearby localities to join RBC staff and students beneath the canopy of the historic Pecan Grove for a day of live music, food and drink, and shopping. Vendors lined the pathways between the trees, giving guests the opportunity to shop for everything from handmade pet treats to Tupperware. Local boutique owners, artists, and artisans offered up clothing and fashion accessories, jewelry and art, homemade soaps, and much more. Food trucks and vendors tempted potential patrons with lemonade squeezed fresh before each customer's eyes, barbecue, crab cakes, local honey, and baked goods, including pecan pie, in the spirit of the event. Local businesses, services, and nonprofits also held a presence at the Pecan Festival. Whether looking for banking services, information to help with a garden or crops, or details on the college's new partnership with Drone Up, a drone delivery service, visitors could find it all at the event. Alumni and anyone looking to sport a little RBC pride could find Statesman gear in the campus store, the Grove Market tent. The tunes of local band Bustin' Loose wound through the Grove, creating a lively backdrop for festival goers of all ages. While adults flocked to shop, drink, and dine, children were entertained with a kids zone, complete with games, a balloon artist, and a farm animal petting zoo. With the blessing of perfect fall weather, the 6th annual Pecan Festival proved another successful event for Richard Bland. The promise of live entertainment, unique shopping, and plentiful food drew hundreds of visitors to the Pecan Grove for the occasion, now a local fall tradition. We'll be back with more after this.
It's time you heard the best fried chicken doesn't come out of a bucket or a box. You'll find it fresh out of the deep fryers at Breeze Inn. Virginia's finest chicken. Succulent, juicy chicken with a crispy coating. Hungry for more? Try our pulled pork barbecue, real Philly cheesesteaks, and mouth-watering burgers. Home to Virginia's finest chicken. And oh yeah, we've got a convenience store too.
I love being at home. I mean, you do get a lot done. For instance, I just got pre-qualified for a home loan online with BSV. So be a homebody. Visit bsvnet.com to see what you qualify for.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elba.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elba.
We're chiropractors and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us at Chester Family Chiropractic Center.
Welcome back. For those looking for activities and events this weekend, the fall season continues to offer up plenty of unique opportunities for fun. On Saturday, October 29th, Hopewell will host the annual City Point 5K and Kids Fun Run. Set your alarm clocks because the race begins at 8 a.m. with the Kinder Dash at 10 a.m. and the Kids Run at 10:30 a.m. Runners of all ages will gather at the starting line at the Hopewell Community Center, located at 100 West City Point Road. This Saturday and Sunday, Ashton Creek Vineyard will host a bash for itself. The vineyard is celebrating its 6th anniversary with delicious wine and food, a pet Halloween costume competition, and live music from Caleb Dillard, James River Junction, and the Blue Guitar. Petersburg's River Street Market will host a special themed market this Saturday. The Tract or Treat Market will feature music vendors and a Halloween costume contest, along with trick-or-treating. The Prince George Farmers Market will also feature seasonal fun this Saturday, with the Fall Festival and Market. Attendees can participate in pumpkin picking, games, a fall-themed craft, story time, and a pumpkin egg hunt. For more upcoming events and entertainment, check out the ticket section of this Saturday's edition of the LNN Insider. Halloween is on the horizon, and there are multiple opportunities for your children to trick-or-treat before spooky season comes to an end Monday night. Petersburg will be hosting Trunk or Treat at the Petersburg Sports Complex on Saturday, October 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. The event will also feature a pumpkin patch, hay rides, games, and popcorn. The Old Town Petersburg Small Businesses will also host an event for trick-or-treaters Saturday afternoon from noon to 2 p.m. Bring your costumed trick-or-treaters to Old Town Saturday afternoon and visit businesses like the Apothic Company, Restored Cup, Abigail's Antiques, the Dixie Restaurant, Petersburg Jeweler, and Old Town Studio 7 for family-friendly Halloween fun. Over 30 businesses are participating. Each one will have a sign posted advertising them as an official Old Town trick-or-treating stop. Hopewell and Colonial Heights will hold their Halloween events on the night itself. On Monday, October 31st, the city of Hopewell will host trunk-or-treating from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the 300 North Main Street lot. Food and drinks will be available, but take note, children should be accompanied by an adult. Finally, Colonial Heights will host Halloween in the Park from 6 to 8 p.m. on Monday night. The event will feature free candy, music, and games in Flora Hill Park. Whether you and your kids attend one of those local events or go trick-or-treating in your neighborhood, staying safe while out and about on Halloween is important. Our off-the-charts friends over at Chester Family Chiropractic have all the tips you need to have a spookily safe All Hallows Eve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew from Chester Family Chiropractic Center, and I'm coming at you with some Halloween tips for you so everybody can stay safe. So number one is visibility, right? It's really important that you can see where you're going, and so a lot of people are wearing masks that cover their face, and we know that that's going to limit your visibility. So that means watch your step, take your mask off if you need to at any time, and also bring a flashlight, right? These are things you need to do so you know that you're going in the right direction. On that note of visibility, it's a good idea to wear something on your person that is either reflective or fluorescent, meaning it makes light. A good way to do this and a fun way to do this is to wear glow sticks, right? You can have green, yellow, orange, whatever you choose, but you can put those in your hair, on your waist, or on your costume in some way to increase your visibility so that you're safer out there. Another point is to make sure you bring water so you can stay hydrated, right? I know you're getting a lot of candy and you're gonna be really, really excited, but you're doing a lot of walking, and by drinking water, you know that you're getting what you need. Also, try not to eat all that candy in one sitting, right? And so the water is a nice balance. Next up, I want you guys to make sure you're planning your route out. So know where you're going and tell somebody about it, right? And that's a nice way of making sure that everybody's accountable, and if anybody gets lost, we know where to look for you. On that note, bring a phone, bring an adult, or bring both, right? And that way you can reach out if needed. The last thing to think about on a safety-wise is that everybody in the community is out there, and so it's important to be with people that you trust, and also don't follow people or talk to people that you don't know, right? And so it's important to stay safe, and by setting the right boundaries, you can have a lot of fun. So this is Dr. Andrew from Chester Family Chiropractic Center. Happy Halloween!
Voting is now closed for the 2022 Tri-Cities Best of the Best Awards, and the ballots have been tallied. The top 3 finalists in each of the categories have been announced on the LNN USA website, and the winner of each category will be revealed at the live Best of the Best Award show on Thursday, November 3rd. To view the finalists, visit LNNusa.com or check out the October 29th edition of the LNN Insider. The list of 2022 Best of the Best winners will be released after the live award show. Stay tuned to LNN USA next week for your top picks in the Tri-Cities. For these stories and more, check out this week's edition of the LNN Insider Digital News Magazine. Subscribe by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page. We'll be back with sports and weather in a moment.
Hourglass Realty Group.
Opening the door to your next journey.
Warning, these products contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The Vape Guys is where you'll find hundreds of e-liquids and a huge selection from salt nic options and disposables to hemp-based products and detox. The Vape Guys make you the star with their loyalty program, superior service, unrivaled selection, and the passion for vaping you deserve. The Vape Guys, 536 South Park Boulevard, Colonial Heights.
Now we go to G. Anadipe for the sports update.
This week's NFL Power Rankings actually have not changed at all. Still in the number 1 spot are the 6-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Coming in number 2 are the 5-1 Buffalo Bills. Number 3 are the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings. And still at number 5 are the New York Giants. In other NFL news, the Indianapolis Colts have chosen to bench their starting quarterback, Matt Ryan. This is due to some production issues. Now, Matt has only led the team to a 3-3 start, which is obviously not good enough for the organization, seeing as they have chosen to elect Sam Ehlinger, the backup quarterback, to the new starting role. Unlike other quarterbacks and superstars in the league, Matt Ryan has chosen to be humble, to stick with the team, support the decision, and offer any assistance to Sam that he could. Now, if this is any kind of true, then our studio producer, Craig, could learn a few things from Matt Ryan. Being mature might look a little good on you, Craig.
Being willing to teach you to be humble? I'll try.
That one's going to be hard. Now, over in the MLB, the World Series is among us, people, or upon us, I should say. The American League champions, the Houston Astros, are going to be taking on the Philadelphia Phillies this Friday, October 28th, in Game 1 of this year's MLB World Series. Now, if you're into baseball, then you should probably already know this. If not, try to tap in. It's going to be a good series. Over in the NBA, it's only week 2, but that has not stopped us from bringing you guys who we feel our top 5 teams are thus far. Coming in at number 1 are the 3-0 Boston Celtics. Number 2 are the 2-0 Milwaukee Bucks. Number 3 are the 2-1 Golden State Warriors. Number 4, the Phoenix Suns, who are also 2-1. And coming in at number 5 are the Utah Jazz, who just stole a victory over the Houston Rockets. Other teams that played this week include the Heat, who took on the Trailblazers, winning that game, and of course the Lakers, who lost another game against the Denver Nuggets, thus bringing them closer to their goal on a quest of becoming the biggest bust in NBA history. Anyway, that's it for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, G. Now we go to Chai, the weather guy, Gallahan. Chai, what's the weekend looking like?
It's going to be a fantastic weekend, Carolyn Day. Friday and Saturday begin the weekend with highs near 61 and lows of 48. Friday is cloudy and Saturday is partly sunny. Great weather for hiking out in nature by day and telling ghost stories around the campfire at twilight or night. Sunday brings back the clouds with a chance of rain, a high of 66 and a low of 55. Monday warms it back up with a high in the mid-70s and a low around 57. Tuesday and Wednesday are partly sunny, partly cloudy with highs in the low 70s and lows in the low 50s. It's normal in Virginia to have sweeping temperature fluctuations when seasons change. So as the saying goes, if you don't like the weather, just wait a couple of hours. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Thanks, Chai. That's it for this week's newscast. We'll see you next Thursday for the latest local news. In the meantime, be sure to follow LNN USA on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Have a safe and spooky Halloween, and thanks for watching LNN, News by the People, for the People.